It's your boy. I present you this round of worms. I present to you. How's it going, Lexi? Hey, how'd that go? That's dope. Nice. Love that. How'd your model turn out? Oh, I forgot to unmute my mic until 35 minutes in. Yeah, I've been there. Heck yeah. Well, I'm glad it turned out well. No escaping me. I don't know your time zone, pal. It's morning for me. Yeah, it's 10 a.m. for me right now. I'm glad he caught it for you. Or glad they caught it for you. How's it going, Nova? It's going well. You belong to me. Hang on to life by the skin of my teeth. Yeah, today is going to be a short one. I have some family in town visiting for a birthday today. So I won't be live for super long. We'll maybe go for like an hour. Just came to see what's up, get some animation done. But yeah, I do have plans this afternoon, so I won't be around for very long. I like max loaded too. But yeah, max ammo is such a fun name. I like max. I like max a lot. What's poppin', Python? Have you heard of SMG4, the YouTube series? I have not. Roll. Roll. I love Damper. She's so fun. Just like Pied Piper. Looks like Gumball, kinda. I haven't ever watched that show. Is it any good? I've seen bits and pieces, and it seems pretty funny. Is that Maya? This is Maya, yes. Sway to the symphony of destruction. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, I can see that much more. I assumed you meant Gumball from Amazing World of Gumball. Yeah, Cotton Candy Gumball vibe was the kind of energy I was trying to hit with her design. Pied Piper. Looks like it's in a better place. Okay. Not great. Usually just Blender because I probably can't afford it. In fact, the independent mission assumed you also use Blender first. I have talked about this before on stream. I use Maya because it's the software that I know, not because it can achieve something that Blender can't. So when people come around and ask like, what animation software should I use? I always recommend Blender because the cost is free. Maya does have an indie license that you can get, which is what I use. So it's like 1/10 of the price. Still not cheap, but it is much more accessible than people think because of that price tag. However, it is a high cost of entry, especially if you're not making any money with your projects. So I definitely lean on recommending Blender to pretty much anybody. But I recommend Maya, of course, if you can afford it. Like Maya is an awesome software that I greatly appreciate. But it's not necessary to shell out for the price tag to get any effect that you can achieve with Blender. Maya's a better choice if you care about working in the industry on like a big project with a big studio that already uses like industry standard quote unquote software, just because it's a little bit more respected. But it's absolutely not necessary to achieve the kind of look that I'm going for. So I like to recommend Blender because it alienates less people. Great software. Haven't used it, but I am fully aware of what it's capable of, and it's awesome to see something like that, something as powerful as Blender, be free. Just have a question. What is... Oh, I see what I did. Doi. Thanks, Jojo. Balance for all. I actually don't remember when YouTube had DMs. Did YouTube have DMs? That's crazy. I have never been a big commenter, though. I'm very not interactive on any platform. I definitely like enjoy and absorb, but I'm certainly guilty of not being super like interactive on any platform. Does Maya actually crash that many times usually? No, Maya does not crash very often on my system. Maya crashes when I do stupid stuff like undoing when I control Z out blend shapes and keyframe deletes. I usually get a crash, or I'm susceptible to get a crash. But if I don't do those things, it almost never like just arbitrarily crashes. I maybe crash once every like day or two. But that's only when I'm doing something like I said, it's only when I'm doing something that's like processor intensive and silly. When I know better, I'm always like Control Zing out, and then I'm like, oop, that was one too many. I'm an idiot, and then it crashes. So. Read my lips. How's it going, little Doombringer? You're working on all the spider stuff? I am. How's it going, potato tomato? Either love triangle or flip and damper are related. We'll see. You guys are actually going to meet Damper on the channel today. It is currently 10:30 my time. At 2 o'clock p.m. my time, we're going to be seeing the first teaser clip of episode 2, which will be Damper's introduction to the series. Thanks, little Doombringer, for the sub. Yeah, I do spam Control S. I don't, and sometimes I back it up. I've been backing up this scene. I have like already 10 backups. And it's not because this is complicated. It's because we've already animated a little bit further than what we're doing right now, and it is rather complicated, which you can see right here. Yeah, so we've done a little bit more than what we're seeing here, and I don't want to lose this section, so yeah, we keep backing it up, and I don't have autosave on because I don't like using autosave. It's screwed me in the past. The characters are separate races. They're like different alien races, different planets and systems and stuff. Yeah, this bit with Max has been fun so far. I'm a little worried about the cam work being a little bit too much because this is only like half of the shot so far. Um, so we have lots of room to work, but our scene is becoming pretty fragile. Um, so I'm trying not to, you know, I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, which is why we're going back to the beginning of the shot to make sure that everything's flowing properly before we invest too much. First episode an hour ago. Keep the good work. Thanks, Defected. Please add a funny Easter egg. I'm not really big on Easter eggs in my work, to be honest. How long will the episodes range from? Right now, Skifters is chopped up into 10-minute episodes, give or take, 9 to 11, depending on how things end up. The pilot is about as long as the episodes will be. Like, I call it the pilot because it's a good word to get people into the show to see that like this is the beginning. But I plan on that just being like a regular, like it's the regular first episode in the series. I actually renamed it to episode 1 on YouTube today from the pilot to being Skifters episode 1. Day off, I'll be dead. Claw your back. Go again. Feeling paranoid. Closing in. I know where I've been. Sweating bullets. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not really a big business guy. Like, I'm not here to be like, if I call it a pilot, everybody will watch. Like, I'm not here to. That's not the psych that I have. But I understand that pilot is a word that people know is like, oh, this is the beginning of the series. So I use the word to let people know, like, hey, you haven't missed anything. We're just starting. Like, this is the full release. But I intended on changing the name, which I did today, to being episode 1, because I don't want it to be like a separate thing, because I really like the first episode. It's definitely important to setting up the story. So yeah. How's it going, Eric? I slept all right. Do your past animations relate to Skifters? No, it's all a separate universe. That's another thing that I like to do, is not force everyone to watch everything that I do to feel like you can be a part of it. Skifters is its own contained universe. And I like April better than Torque. I think April... I care a lot about style, and when it comes to motion, and I think that April has enabled me to do more cool stylistic stuff with her bike and her gun than anybody else. So I've been really enjoying animating April. Hey. Will there only be 5 episodes? There will only be as many episodes as there's intended to be. And what I mean by that is I don't like creating filler and fluff and wasted time just to, like get as much out of the show as I can. I don't really like to create like that. My projects will never be a consistent length with each other because, like I said, every story is meant to be a certain length, and I don't want to pad the runtime just to keep people around. I'd much rather, 5 episodes that are awesome than 5 episodes that are awesome and 5 episodes that are mid, and then you have to watch them all. Like I'm not for that. So Skifters is going to be exactly as long as it needs to be good all the way through. And right now that looks like 4 episodes, 4 or 5. This was my life. Will your past animations cross over Skifters? They will not. So it's just the main story. Yeah, exactly. I'm not a big side quester. Like I had thought of I was like, how could I make it like longer and a bit more expansive? And I came up with this like little side quest that they went on where they like got into a street race with like some gang or something, and they like, I don't remember what exactly it was, but I was like making it, and I was like, this is just here to keep them busy so that I can get more out of the show, and that's not how you make a good show. So I scrapped it. I am not here to waste anybody's time, least of all mine. I've made a couple shorts, but shorts don't really host my content well, just because my content is so wide. To run. I sadly will not be accepting any OCs, but I'm glad you like Torque. Are there specific names of their alien races? I didn't name them, no. Hope this gets a wide fan base. Me too. If you're enjoying the show, definitely, share it with a friend. It is up to word of mouth on the algorithm, I feel like, at this point to get this show out there. Because I feel like people would enjoy it, and on a wider scale. Obviously, people have been enjoying it so far, which is awesome. Do. Like a genie in a bottle. Thanks, Mecha Goji, for the sub. Appreciate you. Will you input any references? I will not be inputting any references. At least not intentional ones. What's up, Megaprog? Will they change outfits often? Not very often, no. Oi. How's it going, Drew? Yeah, skift is essentially like a frisbee. It's like this old sport that Torque's just taking to like a ridiculous level. gifts definitely don't go forever in almost every case. Captive honor, ain't no honor. Thanks, Python. I'm doing my best. Captive honor, ain't no honor. Captive honor, ain't no honor. W animation, thanks Elijah. Are the red and green guys like the gods of the universe? Yeah, they essentially, not necessarily gods, but they essentially created the universe. They're like beings that were before time and space, doing like engaging in skifting, which is like this ancient like shock put sport, and then they accidentally created the universe. She a descendant of the two brothers. That would be swag. So I love how that episode thought it was animated by some big production crew. Thanks, Elijah. You guys are too kind, but no, it is just myself on the animation. The sounds and the music, and some of the voice acting was not by me, but everything else was. Okay. Pretty happy with how Torque's looking here. I'm just going to quickly run to the washroom, and I'll be right back. Before I go, we can loop some cool guys stuff before I BRB. But I mean, I won't be that long. BRB. I'm back. Ugh. Didn't think guns would exist here. They definitely do. There's guns in the pilot. Come on. There's one gun in the pilot. Torque will not have a gun. Tried to also animate and do film, but you know, school stuff plus 14 years old. I use my phone for animation, but it really inspires me to continue filming animation. Heck yeah, Elijah. Don't feel like you know are alienated by your medium to be able to animate. Just because you only have your phone doesn't mean that you can't get started. Like all the stuff you're gonna learn now, you're gonna bring with you to your, whatever your next medium is. I started animating when I was 21, so you are arguably way up on me. What's the name of the purple guy? I don't remember. It's Flip. Watching this is too animated to figure out how on earth people animate in 3D. Well, if you ever want a rundown, Mez, I can give you a quick one. How's it going? Kwa? KWA? Keep going no matter how much the struggles bring you down. And this, yeah, dude, we all start somewhere. For sure, Potato. Thanks for hanging out. Stream's not over yet, but it won't be going long. Like I said earlier, I have some lunch plans today, so I won't be here for very much longer. Maybe another 15 minutes, give or take. Other than YouTube apps, where do you advertise your show? I've spent a little bit on YouTube ads to try to get the show out there. I don't promote it anywhere else, like, because I can't. I don't really have the money to pay for marketing. So the show does not get much marketing at all. I've spent like a couple $100 on YouTube ads and try to get that to, hook a brother up. So yeah, I post clips on Reddit. I post clips on Twitter. But I'm kind of depending on some luck here, on luck that the YouTube algorithm likes it, or some celebrity with a pre-established following likes it and promotes it somehow, because that's pretty much all I got. Oh. Insta, TikTok, Twitter. Tried Insta and TikTok. My stuff doesn't really work there, and I am on Twitter, but no one watches my stuff there. What's your show about? I'm pretty sure it's the first time I've ever come across you. It's about this group of characters doing this sport called skifting, where they're trying to pass this this great spark in the sky, essentially what would be on the edge of the universe were it real. But yeah, there's a full pilot for the show. There's a full first episode on my YouTube channel, so be sure to check it out to kind of get the whole story. But we're just getting started. No escaping pet, you belong to me. Hanging on to life by the skin of my teeth. You belong to me by the skin of my teeth. Mm-hmm. Is it hard to animate in 3D? I know it's hard for me to animate in 2D. I think it's hard to animate in anything. Animation is just not easy. If you're looking for an easy art form, this ain't it. That being said, I have a okay time animating in 3D. There's good parts and bad parts. There's easy bits and hard bits, for sure. But it doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what medium you're using, unless you're making it in AI. You're gonna have a hard time. So, yeah, rewarding though, despite the fact that it's Despite the fact that it is difficult, it's very rewarding. How are you and your wife? We're great. You take a mortal man and put him in control. Let rats through the streets. Mm, 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 mm. Just like the Pied Piper, let rats too. Just like marionettes. Do you have a proper description of the show, like putting a description in the pilot and introducing what the show is about? Not off the top of my head. I've made a few. I have a couple on the channel. I think it's written in the pilot a little bit, but you know, I don't have like a I don't know, like a pitch cue card prepared on hand. I'd show people like it, you know. There's a couple options when it comes to, you know, shows like this. And those options look like pitching to somebody and getting a streaming deal. Or, you know, getting funding from I don't know, Netflix or some pre-existing production company. None of these are my first choice, because with those things comes restrictions. You know, Netflix says, you know, you got to tone this part down, or we need more episodes, or we need this, or we need that. And that is not what I want to happen to my work. So the dream is that, you know, the project gets funded by the people who want to see it. And I don't have to rely on like a giant budget. So I don't really have like a crazy pitch deck prepared. But if you like the work, you can see my Patreon on the screen. Check it out and get some cool perks, because the show is made possible by the people watching it. I cannot tell what's going to happen in the next episode. I'm going to have to find out. How's it going, Wilfer? Yeah, episode 2 is going to be fun. Episode 2 is going to have some action, which I haven't done in a long time. There's going to be some combat, which obviously we can see here with Max Ammo entering the scene. So this will be fun. Episode 2 is going to introduce Max and Damper. And then we are going to really hit the fan on episode 3. Get your traction. This could be the best new show, like when people found out about Amazing Digital Circus. Doing all right. Glad you're doing all right. And thanks. I hope that the algorithm somehow picks up my stuff and we pop off and more people get to see it. Would definitely make me happy. But at this point, it kind of feels out of my control. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, if you enjoyed the show, share it with a friend. It definitely helps me out. Thanks for the sub. I'm not even going to pretend that I know how to pronounce that. Doble plus bueno. You're a real one. Looking forward to episode 2. Heck yeah. Yeah, like I said, I obviously would love the show to get funded. But if I can stay away from anything like that, would definitely be a victory. If I could stay away from stuff like that and get the show funded, that would be a victory. Because I really want to make this show. And it's hard to get it done when I also work a regular full-time job. Yeah, share it on your socials. Thank you, Wilfer. Share it with a friend. Definitely, your social outreach definitely helps the show. You can really make a huge difference by, sharing it with your friends and stuff. And I appreciate it. Age of the texture of aggression. How's it going, Will? Like, what is your budget on the animation? Like, what is it just Blender and your own 3D models? Because if so, great job. The budget is technically at least a few $100s because this is not Blender, this is Maya, and Maya is not free. So my budget is whatever Maya is, like $500 a year for the indie license. But the budget of my time is far outweighs that. I work on this project like at least 40 to 50 hours a week. And then I also have my regular job. I've basically sacrificed any semblance of a social life or free time to make this show. I play video games with my friends, maybe like a couple hours a week, and I don't watch anything. I don't do anything else. I don't go out. I work and I work. So, the investments of my time outweighs everything else. If it hits, it would be your best investment. Yeah, it's definitely, even if I don't make any money, it'll be my best investment, because the enlightenment on my brain that I've had working on the cartoons has definitely been, outweighs any of the cost, even if, we don't go viral. I can't say, Golden Guy. We'll have to wait for the episode to drop to find out. Are getting wet, sweating butts, dude. Days again. Feeling parentphobic, basketballs are closing in. Where I've been. Sweating by. Even as loving the art, feel prideful in your work. Yeah, exactly. You add more new characters to Skifters. Damper and Max will be the final additions to Skifters. What's my favorite food? Chicken fingers and fries, baby. 100,000,000%. 100 times out of 100. I like Popeyes. Popeyes chicken and fries. I like McDonald's. I like classic home air fryer, unfrost that frozen bag of nuggies. all that jazz. How's it going, Maywolf? Ever try promoting the show on TikTok and such? I have promoted stuff on TikTok and such. My content does not do well on TikTok and such, sadly. Donors getting thin. I think claustrophobic like walls are closing in. Sweating bullets mad at me. Quit at me. How's it going? It's going good. We're chilling. We're getting some work done. We won't be live for much longer, unfortunately. I have some plans today. Shouldn't that be right? There's something wrong with you. This Turk's so bombastic and awesome. Heck yeah. Just passing by to say I love your indie series and I hope you can have a lot of views. Thank you, Maywolf. Appreciate you. Share the show with a friend. Your social contribution definitely helps us get it out there. Appreciate you stopping by and saying hey. Hey. All right. You guys want to hear some of the sound design before we call it a stream? All right. I do have to go, unfortunately. But I'll show you guys how this is looking with the sound before we call it a stream. And then I unfortunately do have to leave. I'm turning the sound on. Hopefully it's not that loud. Bear with me. Okay, doesn't seem too loud. Okay. So this is where we're at with the shot. We're going to be, the next few times I stream, you'll probably be seeing this shot because it is complicated. It's going to take a while. I love it. Heck yeah. Appreciate you. We'll be working on this shot for a while because it's going to be a long and complicated one, but it will be worth it. So this is currently where we're at before I go. You know what? Let's actually, I'm gonna play blast it so that it runs at like a nice frame rate for you guys. Yeah, we definitely need to do some cleanup. We definitely need to do some blend shapes. We definitely need to straighten things out a little bit. But like I said, the shot is going to be long. We're only at 270 out of 630 frames for this file. So we got to get through the entire thing before we start doing all those blend shapes and stuff. Like I can see there's some like cleanup here that needs to be done for Torque's arm. She definitely needs some cleanup in her eyebrows. There's lots of clipping. There's lots of problems. But we're going to fix all those problems. And this shot is going to be something special. Want to definitely introduce Max in the most bombastic way we can. So before I play us out, this is where our scene is at. Yippee!
I swear it's just been one thing after another lately. I would love a chance to just catch my breath.
Chill out, girly pop. You've got this.
It's not a lot of time for a few days of work. Peak Cinema. We'll get there. Thank you guys. Will there be a stream tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Sunday? There will be a stream tomorrow. I don't know when it will be, but it'll be a longer one because this was only an hour. Tomorrow will be a long stream, so you'll definitely get the chance to be there. But don't forget, today, just watch the first episode. OMG, you're so talented. Thank you, Mez. Today, we have a new video dropping on the channel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 2 hours from now. So make sure you check it out. Don't forget that that's going to be there. Yeah. And then tomorrow, we will be back to stream some more. So, thanks for hanging out, guys. And I will see you tomorrow. And I'll see you at 2 o'clock. Bye-bye.
I swear it's just been one thing after another lately. I would love a chance to just catch my breath.
Chill out.